Good afternoon and welcome to the Thomas M. Garrity Athletic Complex here in Jersey City for today's broadcast of Gothic Night Baseball here on Gothic Vision. Today, NJCU looks to improve to 2-1 in the league and their 11th win of the year as they take on a longtime rival, the Scarlet Raiders of Rutgers-Newark. First pitch just a moment away on a really chilly day, not just in Jersey City but across the state. Some insane winds are blown in off the bay. The flag in center field right now is, as we can show right there on the video camera, is waving mightily today. And the first pitch from Anthony Zucchero to Ryan Zucker is a called strike. For Rutgers-Newark, they come in at 6-12, 0-2 in the league. Ryan Zucker leads off and plays left field. Adam Chicarico bats second and plays right for bat sixth. The 1-1 pitch from Zucchero's on the inside corner. Ross Halkias bats seventh and plays first base. Anthony Perconti is the center fielder batting eighth. And John Klimowicz is the DH batting ninth. Anthony Zucchero making the start today. He throws to Jan Castellano behind the plate. Ground ball over to Nick Legato at shortstop for the first out. Around the horn for the Gothic Knights, Dan Berardi, the NJAC Player of the Week, is at first base. Tom Pulsini is at second. Nick Legato, who we just mentioned, is at short. And at third, Jesse Kraft. In the outfield, Bill Feehan returns to the lineup at home after suffering an injury in practice last week. Mike Ramirez is in center, and Juan Pena plays right. So with one away, Chicarico hitting .410 on the year. Rutgers-Newark is coached by Mark Rizzi, longtime to our right. Be a ball and a strike here to Chicarico. Ira Thor with you on Gothic Vision. NJCU comes in at 10-5 on the year, 1-1 in the league after splitting a home doubleheader last week against Kane. Inside corner. Ball and two strikes. Inside. See if that makes a little bit of a difference with the camera. And the 2-2. Zucchero misses, and it's 3-2. Busy day in athletics here at NJCU. The men's volleyball team plays its final home match of the year at 7 o'clock when they take on Staten Island. And softball's on the road in Long Island taking on Farmingdale State. High fly ball down the right field line. Pena, basically straddling the right field line, makes the catch for out number 2. So two away to bring up the second baseman, number 12, Luke Magliaro. Magliaro, the second baseman, hitting .274, and nearly gets hit by that one, steps out of the way for ball one. High fly ball, left center field. Feehan in the gap, trying to chase that one down, and is able to navigate the winds and make the catch for out number 3. So in the top of the first for Rutgers-Newark, 3 up, 3 down. The Gothic Knights coming up here in the bottom of the inning. And now we take a look at the starting lineup for NJCU. Tom Pulsini will lead off at second base. Nick Legato bats second, and he is the shortstop. Bill Feehan, the left fielder, bats third. And Dan Berardi, the first baseman, and the NJAC Player of the Week is the cleanup hitter. Lennon Gomez bats fifth. He's the DH. Juan Pena bats sixth in right field. Mike Ramirez hitting seventh in center. Jesse Kraft, the third baseman, bats eighth. And Jan Castellano is the catcher batting ninth. For Rutgers-Newark, throwing today is Dominic Fazio. Fazio is a left-hander senior out of Haworth, New Jersey, graduate of Northern Valley Demarest High School. He throws behind the plate to Justin Marks. Meanwhile, in the infield, first base is Ross Halkias, the second baseman Luke Magliaro. The shortstop is Dominic Magliaro. So you got the Magliaros, making up the middle infield with the third baseman, Brian Boulino. In the outfield for Rutgers-Newark, in left, it is Ryan Zucker. In center, Anthony Perconti, and Adam Tricarico plays right. Your home plate umpire for today's game is Derek Millick, Mike Beal on the bases. Yuri Brutus on camera for today from the men's basketball team. And Gina Carbonero is our PA announcer and scoreboard operator.
Now batting, second baseman, number 27, Tom Pulsini.
Carla Mejia is today's athletic trainer. She's really hoping to stay inside the box all day. That means nobody get hurt. So Tom Pulsini will lead off hitting .356. He's really done a solid job since sliding to that leadoff spot in the middle of the month of March, as the Gothic Knights have gotten 15 games in already despite some pretty ominous weather for much of the season. The first pitch is a called strike to Pulsini, the junior transfer and young. Windy day, so the Wi-Fi signal is really going to be impacted. And we apologize if the video does go out from time to time. Zaccaro deals in the dirt. Castellano will field it. Be a ball and 2 strikes to Magliaro. Line drive right center. Mike Ramirez, who's playing the gap, makes the catch. And And the runner, Boulino, will advance to third. So one away to bring up the catcher marks. Anthony Zaccaro, the pitcher for the Gothic Knights, the junior left-hander, 6 foot, 145, out of Linden, New Jersey. And Zaccaro on the year, taking a look at his numbers. This will be his 3rd start, his 5th appearance. He's 1-1 overall with a 6.57 ERA. Drops in for ball 1 on the curve. Zaccaro's got a .327 opposing batting average, 6 strikeouts, but he's only walked 4 in 12 1/3 innings entering today's action off the plate. 2 balls, no strikes. No score between the Gothic Knights and the Scarlet Raiders as a called strike. Throw back to third, and he dives back in just in time. The Gothic Knights have picked off more base runners than anybody in the league this year. A lot of that attributed to Jan Castellano behind the plate. And Rutgers-Newark barely gets in. Ground ball on one hop over to Legato. That will allow the go-ahead run to score on the 6-3 productive ground out by Marks. And Rutgers-Newark leads 1-0. So the leadoff double by Boulino helps Rutgers-Newark gain an early edge. And with 2 outs and the base is empty, the first baseman, Halkias, batting .171, will step to the dish. Halkias, a senior out of Kinnelon, New Jersey, a transfer from the County College of Morris. Inside to him. fouled away. There's some geese that are hanging out down the left field line, and they may not realize it yet, but they're in great peril. In between innings, Yuri will zoom in on the geese, and we'll see if they get to safety. That is low. We should make it clear that if any of the geese are injured by a foul ball, Carla Mejia, our head athletic trainer, is prohibited from providing medical attention. That's low. It's 3-1. Foul back towards me. I actually flinched. That's the second time this year. Unreal. I'm looking down, trying to write the recap from the first inning, and it got me. Darn it. I have to follow the press box rules, which I have enforced. I have to eject myself from the box, so there will be no second inning. Halkias is able to hang on for a 2-out walk. It'll bring up the center fielder Perconti.
Now batting, center fielder, number 8, Anthony Perconti.
Perconti, left-handed hitter. He's a 5'8 senior out of Westfield, New Jersey. Ground ball to Legato. He's just going to lunge and tap the bag with his glove, and the inning comes to a close. So he has 6 unassisted on the fielder's choice. And in the second inning for Rutgers-Newark, they do strike first. 1 run on 1 hit, and they leave 1. Bottom of the second coming up. We are back here for the bottom of the fourth inning, and Rutgers-Newark will have a new pitcher in place of the starter Fazio. It'll be number 19, Jason Palmieri. He's a sophomore right-hander, 6 foot, out of Glen Rock, New Jersey, former Panther. Glen Rock Panthers. It's a town over from where I grew up. And it'll be Tom Pulsini, Nick Legato, Bill Fian, the top of the order for the Gothic Knights. Tell you a little bit about Palmieri after this pitch to Pulsini. Pulsini has walked twice. And an 0-2 count here for Palmieri. Oh, 2 here by the new Rutgers-Newark pitcher. And he got him looking. Fastball at the knees for strike 3. And I'll bring up the shortstop, Nick Legato.
Now batting, shortstop, number 7, Nick Legato.
For Palmieri, this is his 5th appearance of the year, but his first in relief. The previous 4 have all been starts. He's 2-1 with a 6.75 ERA. 17.1 innings. He has struck out 15 and walked only 6 at .292 opposing batting average. So some pretty impressive numbers for one of the better pitchers on this Rutgers-Newark staff. His team trailing 4-1 thanks to the 3-run shot by Mike Ramirez. Legato looks at ball 1 off the plate. Legato had a mental mistake during his last at-bat in the second inning with the bases loaded. He tried to bunt. Probably a misread of the signs, thought it meant a suicide squeeze, and obviously with 2 outs, unlikely that would be called for, so just misinterpretation. The Gothic Knights made it back in the next inning. Legato chases that one. Two balls and 1 strike. Palmieri deals, and has a foul off the tip of the bat there by Legato. And it's 2-2. Ira Thor with you live here in Jersey City, New Jersey. NJCU Rutgers-Newark NJAC baseball game number 3 of 18 on the year. That's wide of the dish, full count. Gothic Knights got the season going with a split with Kane, winning game 1 7-5. They lost the second game on Saturday 11-8 in 10 innings. That's line, down the left field line, foul. And even though NJCU lost that game to the Cougars, what an impressive comeback. They trailed 8-0, rallied all the way to tie it in the bottom of the 9th. NJCU had runners on first and third. Juan Pena stole second. The throw went in the center field, allowing, I think, Dan Berardi to score from third, I should say, as that is a foul off to our right. And then Pena took third on the throwing error, and then the center fielder for Kane actually overran the ball, and an alert Pena just kept on coming and beat the throw to the plate with his foot. And NJCU eventually did lose in 10 innings, but what a great comeback. Legato on a 3-2 pitch strikes out. Back-to-back strikeouts here to start his relief appearance does Palmieri, who now has 18 strikeouts on the year. Rutgers-Newark lost twice at home against a very, very good TCNJ team. TCNJ is ranked 10th in the country. In one poll, I voted number 4 in that poll. And Fian, long fly ball down the right field line, over the scoreboard. That was, if that was fair, that would have been gone. And it was just over the scoreboard and somehow slides underneath the soccer press box. He hit a long way. Surprised I was actually able to track the flight of that ball, but it is a little cloudy here. And Fian swings through that one 0-2. On sunny days here, ball hit in the air, you can't see it at all, but a little cloud cover makes a big difference. And can you imagine today with how this wind is blowing this ball around, also sunny out, that would be a nightmare for outfielders. And Fian goes the other way with it. Foul territory and out of play. Game is a little bit over an hour and a half old, or hour and 20 minutes old, I should say. And Gothic Knights have 3 events today in NJCU athletics. That's a ground ball. Right side, the flip is behind the pitcher, and Bill Fian reaches.
First baseman, number 14, Dan Berardi.
And that's an error on the first baseman on a bad flip. Dan Berardi will step in, the NJAC Player of the Week, with 2 outs and a man on first. Fian reaching on the error at first by Halkias. Berardi, roller back to the mound, and he'll be thrown out 1-3. So the Gothic Knights can't capitalize on the error. They strand 1. They lead 4-1 as we head to the 5th. Top of the 5th inning here in Jersey City. NJCU leading 4-1. Anthony Zaccaro's allowed just 2 hits, and both have been doubles. He will begin the 5th inning with the 3-run lead, and the first pitch is a ground ball to Nick Legato, 2 hops, and a strike to Dan Berardi at first base. So 1 away, it'll be the designated hitter, number 29, John Klimowicz. Klimowicz has one of those 2 hits. He doubled to lead off the 3rd. We have a special guest in the box right now. That's former Gothic Knight ace Delio Catino, one of the finest left-handed pitchers in school history, is paying us a visit. And on a day where the wind chills are about 30 with wind in your face, he said, I don't miss this. Ground ball on the 0-1 pitch. Legato's throw, another strike to Dan Berardi for out number 2. So 2 up, 2 down. Top of the order for left fielder Zucker.
Now batting left fielder number 2, Ryan Zucker.
Zucker is now hitting .313, 0 for 2 in today's game. Ground out to short and a line drive to left field. Zucker, 1 ball count here. It's called strike. Zaccaro's been pretty efficient thus far, just 65 pitches thrown here with 2 outs in the 5th. And that is strike 2, 1-2. That's in the dirt. 2 balls and 2 strikes with 2 outs. NJCU 4 runs and 5 hits. The most impressive, a 3-run homer by Mike Ramirez. Mike Ramirez, a left-handed pitcher for the Gothic Knights as well. And Delio Coutinho, hearing about the 3-run homer, wants one himself. Strike 3 looking on the inside corner. Zucker's caught looking, and the inning comes to a close. Rutgers-Newark goes in order here in the 5th inning. That is the first strikeout for Anthony Zaccaro. No runs, no hits, nobody left on. Bottom of the 5th coming up in Jersey City. Hold on to your hats, it's windy. We are back here. Lennon Gomez will lead off for the Gothic Knights to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. Gomez, Pena, Ramirez, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters. Gomez doubled in a run in the 3rd inning for the game-tying RBI, and a liner over the head of the shortstop, who I think leapt a little bit too early there, and Gomez takes a wide turn at first, but he's 2 for 2. Correction, 2 for 3. Forgot he actually grounded out in the 1st inning. Seemed like a while ago at this point. So a single to left center. Juan Pena will step in. The right fielder has been on base twice, hit by a pitch, singled, and then scored when our on-deck hitter, Mike Ramirez, put one over the right center field fence. Gomez forces a balk. Lennon Gomez took about a 25-foot lead off of first base, and Palmieri, the pitcher, was caught there, forced into a balk. That's where this aggressive base running can get into the head of a pitcher. Makes a mental mistake there. So no pitch. And now a runner in scoring position and a ground ball off of the glove of Palmieri, and with Pena's speed, there's no chance. Gomez at third, and runners on the corners for Bam Bam Mike Ramirez. We can say that because Ramirez went yard in his last at-bat, his first career home run. Didn't really hit much his first 2 years on the team, primarily a pitcher. Now he is a true utility player, outfield and starting left-hander pitcher, and that is a called strike. That's low. Chopped foul. One ball and 2 strikes to Mike Ramirez. Runners on the corners, nobody out. The Gothic Knights already up 4-1. They want more. This time, Palmieri steps off. Ball and 2 strikes. Ramirez, fly ball, center field. This will get in a run. The catch is made in center. Lennon Gomez, good throw to the plate by the Rutgers-Newark center fielder in Anthony Perconci, but Gomez is able to rumble down the third base line to make it 5-1.
Number 2, Jesse Kraft.
Pena, who's basically standing at second base, had to retreat to first. So with 1 out and a runner on first, Kraft will step in. He's 1 for 2 with a single, hitting .324. That's slow roller towards the NJCU dugout, strike 1. So Mike Ramirez now has 4 RBIs. That is a career high. There goes Pena. The throw to second base goes into center field. Pena will dig for third and dive in there. So he steals second, forces a throwing error as Marks was off the mark. And the Gothic Knights with 1 out have a runner on third. That is the 14th steal of the year for Pena. The 0-2. Strike 3 looking on the outside corner. So good pitch by Palmieri to recover. And he'll bring up Castellano, the catcher. First pitch was off the plate to Castellano, 1-0. Chance to add on to this NJCU lead with a base hit. And that's wide of the dish. 5-1 NJCU, 4 runs in the third. Added 1 here in the 5th. Swung on and missed, 2-1. I've been here at the school for 18 years. This is the best overall team that I've seen out of the Gothic Knight baseball team, and it's a program that's really come along in the last 7 years under head coach Jerry Smith. Every year they seem to get better, and this year beginning to put everything together. And they got 5 losses. 3 of those are by 1 run, and they're all in a row. They have the extra inning loss to Kane. And the only other loss was to Trine. They got blown out that game, but there's a huge asterisk on that. I'll tell you in a second. This is in the air, right center field. It's carrying, long run, going to fall in for a base hit. Castellano on his way to second with a double and an RBI. And it's 6-1. That was certainly aided by the wind as it split the Rutgers-Newark outfielders. Fell between Tricarico and the center fielder Perconti. Pena could have crawled home. And now with 2 outs, top of the order for Tom Pulsini. Pulsini 2 walks and a strikeout. Long fly ball deep down the right center field line. It is very foul. That was over the soccer press box. It actually cleared the speaker to the right of the press box and is somewhere on the softball field. He destroyed that pitch by about 25 feet foul. That is a called strike. And it's a ball and 2 strikes. That's fouled into the screen. Third double of the year, by the way, for Castellano. Just his 6th RBI. He has thrown out more base stealers this year than he has RBIs. That's insane. 1-2. Another foul ball by Pulsini staying alive. So 1-2 count coming up here. Time is granted as Jan Castellano needs to tie his shoes, his cleats, whatever he's wearing on his feet today. They're Nikes. I can see that from here. Big swoosh. 1-2, fouled off down the left field line. It's going to be out of play. Fourth foul ball, third in a row by Pulsini, who is battling here with Palmieri. Palmieri on in relief of the starting pitcher Dominic Fazio. Time granted here. Pulsini makes a request, and Derek Millick, the home plate umpire, giving Pulsini a chance to collect his thoughts here. Wind chill, last I checked, 37 degrees. Low. Baseball is obviously not one of these games where you're running a lot, and it makes it that much colder to be out here. Like a sport like soccer or lacrosse, where you're constantly moving in this weather. Inside, and the count is full, 3-2. I still play competitive soccer, and as a goalkeeper, you're obviously not moving too much, so that's the best comparison you can make in terms of, just really being exposed to the elements. In fact, I have a game on Sunday at 8:30 in the morning in Toms River, and praying for warm weather. I don't care if it rains, just no cold. Ground ball up the first base line. It is foul. Castellano was in motion on the play. He has to go back to second. Pulsini is making Palmieri earn it. This will be the 10th pitch of the at-bat. The 3-2. Ground ball through the right side. That's a base hit. Castellano being waved around third. Here's the throw to the plate. Hand is in time to the plate. The throw is not. And the Gothic Knights on an RBI by Tom Pulsini on a 10-pitch at-bat. Leads 7-1.
Number 7, Nick Legato.
Great job by Castellano of sliding in with that left hand to touch the plate. And NJCU has a sizable lead here in the 5th. So the Gothic Knights keep the train moving. Nick Legato, now the conductor, with Pulsini at first and still 2 outs. Pulsini, there he goes. The throw is low. The throw to second base also is low. And Tom Pulsini steals second base. Pulsini's 7th steal of the year. Second steal of the game for NJCU. And a 1-ball count here to Nick Legato. Can the Gothic Knights add to this lead? They scored 4 in the 3rd. They've put up 3, all with 2 outs here in the 5th. The Scarlet Raiders come in at 6-12, 0-2 in the league. But they have challenged themselves, and you got to respect what head coach Mark Rizzi does with his team every year. He plays tough non-conference competition to get them ready for these NJAC games, and that's why the Raiders' record is misleading. The 2-0. That is a called strike. They started the year in Virginia. They played a doubleheader with Roanoke, splitting that doubleheader. Roanoke is receiving number 1 votes in the country in the national polls. I think they're 3rd or 4th overall, but they're receiving number 1 votes. That's a line drive through the left side for a base hit. Pulsini's going to have to stay at 3rd, but NJCU continues to move the runners.
Number 33, Bill Feehan.
And a good job by the left fielder, Ryan Zucker, getting to that ball quickly and forcing Pulsini after a wide turn at 3rd to stay there. That's going to be it for Palmieri. Mark Rizzi, coach for Rutgers-Newark, comes out, and we'll have a new pitcher when we come back. New pitcher here for Rutgers-Newark is going to be Michael Kadams, sophomore right-hander out of Edison, New Jersey, J.P. Stevens High School, and he will have to face Bill Feehan with runners on the corners. There goes Legato. Not even going to make a throw. Legato with a wild dive in the second base. He is now 11 for 11 in steals this year. But, man, that was like Nick Legato diving into a pool. And there will be meeting at the mound. One strike here to Fian. Ground ball back to the pitcher. Kadams will flip to first, and that will end it. But not before NJCU puts 3 more runs on the board. 3 runs on 5 hits, 1 error that did not factor into the scoring, and 2 left on base. 7-1 NJCU. Anthony Zucchero and his 2-hitter head back to the mound. Zucchero, that pitch there, called strike. A 1-2 count here in the 6th inning, as I was trying to tweet at the same time as the inning began. One ball, 2 strikes. Zucchero deals, fouled back towards us. This time nobody flinches. Do you flinch, Mahia? No, she's looking at her phone. That's one way to be safe. Walk around looking, head down at your phone. If you fall into a fountain, you fall into a fountain. Hopefully everybody knows what I'm talking about with that. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. So Chikarico down on strikes. That is the 2nd strikeout for Zucchero. He's allowed just 2 hits, both 3 walked, 3 over 60 pitches. Palmieri, one of the Raiders' best pitches, as time was called here. Pitch will not count. Palmieri in 1 2/3 innings allowed 3 runs on 5 hits, struck out 3, walked no one over 45 pitches. But a 7-1 lead for the Gothic Knights. Zucchero is just throwing fantastic right now. And a perfect ball on the inside part of the plate. This one, however, is low. If you are watching this game here on Gothic Vision and like to say hello to you, something in the comment section. We always try to do shout-outs as the game progresses. And it's a 7-1 lead for NJCU in day 1 of this home-and-home series. Of course, these 2 teams will play again tomorrow at 3:30, weather permitting, at Bears and Eagles Riverfront Stadium in Newark. We're not sure how much longer that park will be open, which is where both Rutgers-Newark and NJIT play their home games, as it has been purchased by real estate development company, and I think they have long-term plans to do something else on that prime piece of property on Route 21 in Newark. But it is a beautiful park, minor league park, and I hope it sticks around as long as it can. Ground ball slowly hit towards the left gap. But wow, Nick Legato gets over into the left side gap and throws an absolute bullet to first.
Now batting is the third baseman, number 16, Brian Boulin.
So with 2 away, it'll bring up Bulino, third baseman for the Raiders. That's inside. That is low, 2-0. One advisory we should note that NJCU's game on April 18th, that was a makeup, that was supposed to be at St. Joe's of Brooklyn, has now been moved. It is a home game on Wednesday, April 18th. Called strike, in on the hands, 2-2. So the Gotham Knights will add a home game to the schedule April 18th, and I hope it's warmer than it is today. Low, the count goes full here with 2 outs to Boulino. And that's line foul and out of play. Swung on and missed. Second strikeout of the inning, and Rutgers-Newark set aside 1-2-3 here in the 6th. Bottom of the 6th coming up in Jersey City. The Gothic Knights on top 7-1. Dangerous Dan Berardi, the NJAC Player of the Week, steps in. His average has dipped a little bit today, though, because he's 0 for 3. Fielder's choice, a fly out to center and a 1-3 ground out, and he swings and misses at the first pitch here from the third pitcher for the Raiders, Cadams, who got the last out of the 5th inning. That's low. It's 1-1. My gosh, easy for me to say. Taking a look at the numbers on the year here for Cadams after we get through this pitch. We will review his stats for the season as Rutgers-Newark plays in its 19th game of the year. Dan Berardi looks at a fastball in the outside corner, 1-2. Cadams, this is his 6th at Roanoke. Again, receiving votes in a number of national polls, receiving number 1 votes in those polls. I voted them, I think, 3rd in the country in the D3 baseball poll this past week. That is low. My top 4 when I voted, and I have had Trinity, Texas, number 1
almost all year. I think I was the first one to vote them number one, and they now are receiving 18 number one votes. I had Rowan number two in the country, ground ball foul up the third base line, and Rowan is number two in that poll. I have Roanoke voted third in my poll, and I actually have TCNJ picked fourth, and obviously it helps that I see TCNJ a lot, so I know more about them than, say, voters on the West Coast, but they are 10th. The 3-2. And that is ball four, so Berardi, after being behind 0-2, was able to work out a six-pitch walk. And it'll bring up Lennon Gomez.
Now batting, designated hitter, number 24, Lennon Gomez.
There is some kind of odd conversation going on in the left side of the press box. I'm not going to inquire what John Miano and Nina Gina Carbonero are talking about. Meanwhile, Lennon Gomez will step to the plate. Gomez is 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored, an RBI double. That came in the third. He also singled and scored in the fifth, and he waves at the first pitch. You know, sometimes you learn more about your student athletes when you just shut up and listen. And I learned a lot sitting here during the course of a game, scoring the game, announcing the game, and keeping my left ear open and hearing what's coming out of this side of the press box. My God. The 1-1. Berardi with a big lead, and Gomez has to get brushed back on a pitch that was up and in. Pete Vincent, are you entertained by what's going on over here in the box? No comment by Pete Vincent. That, sir, is the correct answer. 2 balls and 1 strike. There goes Berardi. He's going to have to come back as Gomez fouls this one over our heads. If you'd like to be the head women's basketball coach at NJCU, that job has just been posted. So if anybody would like to apply, we will be reviewing applications beginning on April 18th. Ground ball to third, on to second, and the ball is dropped. And everyone is safe. And NJCU on the third error of the game by Rutgers-Newark, Luke Magliaro just drops it.
Now batting, right fielder, number 13.
And everyone is safe. And head coach Mark Rizzi come out to have a conversation. I don't know if he's going to pull Kadams. Kadams has actually been throwing well. We'll find out when we come back. So after the conversation, it'll be Juan Pena who steps in. The Gothic Knights have a big break as the ball was dropped by the second baseman, Luke Magliaro, on what should have been a force out at second. Meanwhile, Gomez standing at first. Low. And it's 2-0. Low. And it's 3-0. NJCU trying to go to 11-5 on the year and 2-1 in the NJAC. There go the runners. Chopped up the third base line and foul. And Berardi standing at third base. A little bit of disbelief there for a second. He's going to have to go back. So Dan Berardi standing at second base. He will graduate when this year comes to a close, and we'll see who takes his spot next year. Could it be John Miano, who's sitting to my left in the press box and handling the music for today's game? It's a tough guy for John to be behind in the lineup. You know, only one of the top offensive hitters in program history. But John is keeping his, earning his keep in other ways, biding his time. After that pitch was fouled off by Pena, he stays alive. It'll be a 3-2 pitch. Check swing, ground ball, throw to second is in time. No way you're going to get Pena. So it'll be a 3-6 force at second, Berardi at the third. So Pena on the fielder's choice. Gomez is out 3-6, Berardi to third, and Mike Ramirez has already hit a 3-run homer and produced a sac fly, so he's got 4 of these 7 runs are off of his bat. Can he add to it with 1 out here in the 7th? Or correction, the 6th. We're only in the 6th inning. In a game that is 3 minutes away from being 2 hours old. Will I make the start of the men's volleyball match at 7? Magic 8 Ball says unlikely. There goes Pena. And that is well off the bag at second base. Good job by Rutgers-Newark, however, having the second baseman, Luke Magliaro, there to back up the throw to prevent anybody from advancing, and that would be Dan Berardi at third. So Pena now is 15 for 17 in steals this year. His second of the day. 2-0 count here to Mike Ramirez. Looked a little high, but called a belt-high strike. And it's 2-1. Final score in softball. We'll wait just a moment. Ground ball through the right side for a base hit. Berardi scores. Pena will be held at third. The throw is offline. And on the throwing error by the right fielder, Mike Ramirez, some smart base running, takes second. So Mike Ramirez with an RBI, his 5th of the game, extending his best day of his career. So a single through the right side, and Ramirez advances on the E9 throwing error. Pena to third, Berardi scores. Berardi's run is unearned. Kraft will step in now with runners at second and third. That is the 4th error of the game for Rutgers-Newark, and their 2nd of the inning. Low and blocked by Marks. And Kraft. Good eye by him, and it's 2-0. Correction, 2 balls and 1 strike. Was a 1-1 strike, so it's now 2-1. Three and 1 is your count. Still just 1 away. The Gothic Knights behind fantastic pitching from Anthony Zucchero and now 5 RBIs, a career day for Mike Ramirez, have a commanding lead in this NJAC matchup. Inside, Kraft walks and the bases are loaded.
Now batting, the catcher, number 15, Jan Castellano.
And Jan Castellano will step in. Castellano steps in with the bases loaded. His last time up, he doubled to the right center field gap, splitting both players in the outfield. He's also struck out twice today. First pitch here is strike 1. In the dirt, it's 1-1. Final score in softball. I tried to say the score and I was interrupted by actually live baseball action. Farmingdale State edged NJCU 5-2. Chopped foul. That is low. Game 2 of that softball doubleheader will begin in probably about 10 minutes. I've been informed there will not be live stats for that second game because just like we've had issues with the Wi-Fi because of the wind, it's actually been not completely knocked out at Farmingdale. 2 balls, 2 strikes. In the air, center field. This could drive in a run. Now it's being blown to right center. And a long run had to be made by the Rutgers-Newark right fielder. Still a sac fly, and then NJCU leads 9-1. The right fielder, Tricarico, had to make a long run to back up his teammate, the center fielder, Perconti.
Now batting, second baseman, number 27, Tom Pulsini.
Run is unearned as the inning, of course, should have been over. And Pulsini will step in now with runners at second and third. Swung on and missed. Pulsini hitting .361. He's walked twice. Otherwise, 1 for 2 with an RBI single today. Raritan High School graduate. Following in his brother CJ's footsteps here at NJCU and really had a productive junior campaign after transferring in. And we're only in game 16 of a potential 40. And that's lined down the right field line for a base hit. Ramirez will score easily. Trying to dig it out of the corner is Tricarico. Kraft is held up after a wide turn at first. A double by Pulsini. He throws his hands in the air, and the Gothic Knights lead 10-1.
Now batting, the shortstop, number 7, Nick Legato.
And that's going to be it for Cadams. The Gothic Knights put up 3 runs here. They've now put up 3 or more runs in 3 of the last 4 innings, and they have blown this open. Who's the new pitcher for Rutgers-Newark? We'll find out when we come back. Sixth inning, it'll be Nick Legato stepping in with runners at second and third. He'll face the new pitcher, Eric Morales, and the first pitch is a ground ball up the third base line. It is foul. Jesse Kraft had to leap out of the way. Morales is a freshman right-hander. He's 6 foot out of nearby Kearney, New Jersey. Kearney High School graduate. Taking a look at the line on the year for Morales as that is in the dirt. This is his third appearance, all in relief, no decisions, 9.00 ERAs, not thrown much, just 2 innings. He is struck out 2, walked nobody, but he's given up 5 hits in 2 innings. That's a .500 opposing batting average. 2-1 out to Nick Legato. Gothic Knights have 12 hits, 10 runs, and have played flawless defense. Rutgers-Newark just 2 hits, both doubles. They led 1-0. Since then, NJCU has scored 10 unanswered. Inside, and it's 3-1. Called strike. Nick Legato doesn't necessarily agree with it, but it's 3-2. And that's lined one hop to shortstop, bobbled. He'll have to hustle, and another error, and NJCU is able to add 2 more. So that's going to be 2 errors on the same play by the shortstop Magliaro, the fielding error that allowed Kraft to score and Legato to reach, and then Polsini scored on a throwing error. So it's 2 errors on 1 play. And Bill Fien's up, and a fly ball is going to fall in for a base hit in left field. Legato around second. He's on his way to third. It's a bloop double for Bill Fien on the first pitch.
Now batting, first baseman, number 14, Dan Berardi.
I saw that.
And Dan Berardi will step in now with Fien and Legato in scoring position and the lead 12-1. Inside, the Berardi brushed him back. All 5 runs in the 6th inning are unearned. Foul tip by Berardi. Two balls, 2 strikes. Morales to the NJAC Player of the Week. Berardi just unloads and that ball. We'll never see it again, but it's foul. in the dirt, blocked by Marks. It's 3-2. On the season, Rutgers-Newark is 3-7 away from home. They're only 1-4 at home, but they have an above 500 record in neutral site games. The 3-2, and Berardi again drives it well over the left field fence, foul. This Rutgers-Newark team can score runs. They put up 30 in a win against New Rochelle on February 23rd. They put up 27 the next day against New Rochelle. They put up 10 in a win at Laverne out in California and 15 in a win over CCNY. They've been held to 2 hits today, and NJCU is hitting. Dan Berardi, that's a pop-up. Foul territory, coming in on a dead sprint and making a great catch in foul territory is the Rutgers-Newark third baseman. And Rutgers-Newark mercifully is out of this inning as Bulano makes a great catch in foul territory. But NJCU scores 5 runs on 3 hits, aided by 4 Rutgers-Newark errors. And NJCU strands 2. They lead 12-1. And we're back here. And NJCU will see a couple changes. For one, behind the plate now is Mike Albunia. And a new hitter for Rutgers-Newark will be Christian Diaz. And an 0-2 pitch here. That's low. One ball, 2 strikes. Lined, 1 hop, legato. Good composure, read it well, and a throw on to first.
Now batting for Rutgers.
And it'll be another pinch hitter. It'll be number 33, Nick Dispenza. Dispenza is the batter, as we were saying, and Dispenza is a senior out of Freehold, New Jersey, a graduate of Colts Neck High School. Dispenza is actually the same high school as my son Gavin, who is a freshman at Colts Neck High School right now. Gavin does not play baseball. Plays football and basketball. Tried out for the boys volleyball team, but they don't have a freshman team, so they only kept 4 freshmen. And despite being a 6-foot, 15-year-old lefty, actually did not make the volleyball team. We're going to have him play beach with me this summer and get him some volleyball school of hard knocks. John Miano, I hear him talking a little smack. Left side, he fails to realize that I was on. Mike Ramirez very nearly caught that ball. We have a pinch hitter at the plate, Joe Bijani, a senior 6-foot out of Ridgefield, New Jersey. Caro deals. That is just low. Caro deals. That is just low. And it's 1-1. Bigiani, a high school teammate of Mr. Miano, sitting to my left. That is a fastball on the outside corner. Strike 2. This will be the 100th pitch for Anthony Zuccaro. The junior lefty out of Linden has been fantastic. Saw just 3 hits, all doubles, but they've been scattered. 2nd, 3rd, and 7th innings. And struck him out looking, and the inning is over. So Zuccaro, as soon as we pay him a compliment, throws perhaps his best pitch of the game, and Bigiani is absolutely tied up. Rutgers-Newark will have a lot of defensive changes when we come back. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left on in the top of the 7th. 7th inning stretch coming up.
All right, we are back here in Jersey City. I had to step off because Rutgers-Newark made 8 defensive changes, and we had to figure out who was who. Lennon Gomez, the first pitch he saw from Morales, he grounded out 1-3 for the first out here in the 7th. So I'll try to catch you up in a moment. Basically, everybody who pinch hit stayed in the game, and then Rutgers-Newark made 4 other defensive changes. Basically, the Raiders down 12-1, trying to give somebody else a chance to see if they could, A, turn this around, which obviously would be a miracle at this point, and B, try to get some young guys some experience with the game more than likely in hand for NJCU, barring something crazy. And it'll be a 2-1 pitch here to Juan Pena, who's hitting .365. And that's a foul tip. Pena he's had a pretty good day. He's scored 3 runs. Very easily could have scored 4. He was thrown at the plate on a force. And 2 singles, along with a hit by pitch. He's stolen second twice. Now 16 steals in 18 tries this year. Wide, it's 2-1. 3-2, I should say. Pena asks for time. It's not granted. The 3-2 inside. Well, the first time in this game, Pena asked for time. It wasn't granted, and he got himself a base hit and scored. This time he asked for time, wasn't granted, and he walks. Mike Ramirez already has 5 RBIs on the day. That's a career high. He steps in with 1 out. NJCU with 4 runs in the 3rd, 3 in the 5th, 5 in the 6th. All 5 runs in the 6th were unearned as Rutgers-Newark committed 4 errors. NJCU already had the game well in hand with a 7-1 lead, and those 5 runs on a cold day like this add a nice warm bit of insurance. Low. Now 6 p.m. here in Jersey City, bottom of the 7th inning. Two balls, no strikes to Mike Ramirez. That's a called strike. Swung on and missed, and the count is 2-2. Ramirez, a 3-run homer, a sac fly, and an RBI single. Ground ball towards second base, could be 2. It'll just be a 4-6 putout. The fielder's choice is second. Pena's retired 4-6. We're going to have a pinch hitter. And I knew who it is before they even play, or even before I say his name, because it's Mike O'Donnell. I heard the Titanic theme music, and I knew it was him. So O'Donnell will pinch hit. O'Donnell, the younger brother of Amber O'Donnell, junior outside hitter on the women's volleyball team. He was the area player of the year last year at Harrison High School for the Blue Tide, and offers at that 1 for strike 1. As soon as this inning ends, I'll catch up on all the defensive changes because there were 8 for Rutgers-Newark.
Actually, you might be able to do it here in the 7th. Let me pull up my little chart. It's a good thing I came out and talked to head coach Mark Rizzi because the umpire did not signify changes and we would not have known. Swung on and missed. And it's 1-2. One ball, 2 strikes to O'Donnell. Morales deals, and O'Donnell down on strikes, and the inning comes to a close. So the Gothic Knights strand 1, but we head to the 8th. NJCU a commanding 12-1 lead. Taking a look at the defensive changes that Rutgers-Newark did make. Clare stayed in the game to play first base. Diaz stayed in the game at shortstop. Bigiano stayed in the game in center field. A number of other new players for Rutgers-Newark. Now in left field for Zucker was Danny Anacone, senior out of Parlin, New Jersey. Now in right field is Lissandro Ulerio, freshman from Englewood. Now at second base is Tommy Scanlon, a sophomore from my current hometown of Howell, New Jersey. And I think there was another change here for Rutgers-Newark. Oh, yeah, Dispenza. Dispenza was the new catcher. Now at third base for NJCU, looks like it is going to be Matt Coursey, junior out of Toms River. So Matt Coursey now playing third base for the Gothic Knights.
Now playing third base for NJCU is number 29, Matt Corsi.
We are back here for the top of the 8th inning. And Zaccaro continues to throw well. 1-1 pitch here is fouled away. And it'll be a 1-2 count here to Klimowicz. I believe it's still him. I didn't see any change there. And he is the one person staying in the lineup, the DH. Everybody else has changed. And he fouls that one off to the left, 1-2. That's off the plate. Two balls, 2 strikes. Zaccaro deals. That's low. And it's 3-2. So our post-game interviews, I think, are going to be pretty obvious today. It's going to be Anthony Zaccaro, and it's going to be Mike Ramirez. And then we will rush to men's volleyball. That is lined right at Coursey for out number 2. Correction, out number 1. So Danny Inacone.
Now batting, number 24, Danny Iannacone.
Danny Iannacone is a senior out of Parlin. Went to St. Joe's Metuchen, where he was a teammate of Mike Ramirez. And Zucchero gets him offered strike one. And then another nice pitch, lefty versus lefty, drops that in on the corner for strike two. Zucchero's thrown 109 pitches, 70 for strikes, and just the way he's delivered hasn't looked like he's had to work that much, and you can do that with a 12-1 lead, I suppose, and strikes out Inacone on 3 pitches. They'll bring up the right fielder, Ulerio. Lysandro Ulerio out of Englewood, New Jersey, and Dwight Morrow High School. Swung on a miss way early on that one. It's 0-2. So Ryan Guthrie apparently is at second base now. I only knew because Tom Pulsini's standing next to me in the press box, so we got to get Guthrie in the game. Hopefully he'll have a chance to hit because Zucchero is able to strike out Ulerio on 3 pitches, back-to-back strikeouts, and Rutgers-Newark goes in order in the 8th. Bottom of the 8th coming up for the Gothic Knights. We're back here for the bottom of the 8th inning for the Gothic Knights, and we'll probably see some pinch hitters in this frame. Mike Albunia, who came in defensively in replace of Jan Castellano, will bat for the first time in this game. Albunia's played quite a bit lately, and he's produced. He's hitting .375 on the year. Albunia's actually 3rd on the team in overall batting average entering the day, 6 hits and 16 at-bats. And it's got a .500 on-base percentage because he's also walked 4 times. Couple doubles, couple RBIs for Albunia, the junior out of Hudson Catholic here in Jersey City. 1 ball count. That's high. Two balls, no strikes to Mike Albunia. Lined to right field, and a leaping catch in right field. And Albunia hit it hard, but he hit it right at the Rutgers-Newark right fielder.
Ryan Guthrie.
New right fielder, by the way, is Lysandro Ulerio. That's quite some music here for Ryan Guthrie. Guthrie, the new second baseman, bats for the first time. What was that? That's fantastic. So Guthrie, freshman out of Bayonne. And he looks at strike one. One of two rookies out of Bayonne High School on this year's Gothic Knight squad. That is off the plate. 1-1. Guthrie, this is his second career, looking for his first collegiate base hit. Swung on and missed. Got a piece of it, 1-2. Guthrie in his only previous at-bat struck out. Of course, he's behind Tom Pulsini at second base. Pulsini the junior. That's low. These are the type of games where some of the younger players who aren't in the everyday lineup have a chance to see some action and hopefully impress and maybe see some additional time as the year goes on. Still a lot of baseball to be played here in 2018 for NJCU, and if they keep this win-loss total going, could be playing for a while. Long fly ball, deep to right center field. That's his first career base hit. It's going to fall in for a double for Ryan Guthrie. And he does a little dance at second base. I don't know what that was, but his teammates get a laugh out of it. And Ryan Guthrie's first career base hit is a double to the right center field gap. Didn't miss a home run by too much.
Now batting is number 9, Dan McLaughlin.
Pinch hitter here is going to be number 9, Dan McLaughlin. What is this music?
It's from an old TV show.
What is it?
It's from an old TV show.
It sounded like Duck Duck Goose. My God. So McLaughlin, he and his brother Mike, both from Clifton, New Jersey, both freshman twins. McLaughlin, this is his 5th career at bat. He has scored a run as a pinch hitter, looking for his first collegiate hit as well. As Morales has thrown the best of all these Rutgers-Newark pitchers. Morales in 1 2/3 innings, he's allowed just 2 hits, struck out 1, walked 1. The 4th Newark pitcher, he's been the best thus far. That is ball 2, however, to McLaughlin. That's high. Oh, they call a strike. All right, dropped in for a strike, 2-1. The crowd today is sparse, and you kind of would imagine that on a day where it's pretty darn cold out here, not just in Jersey City, but throughout this entire region. I feel bad for anybody who has to work a night game, that's for sure. High and inside, 3-1. Carla Mejia, are you glad we don't have lights on a day like this? She is thrilled. Imagine how it would be literally in the 20s with the wind chill if we had lights tonight. 3 balls, 1 strike to McLaughlin. Inside, ball 4. So McLaughlin, that is his first career walk.
Now batting.
And 2 runners on with 1 out. And pinch hitting for Bill Fien will be the other McLaughlin. So McLaughlin, this one is Mike. Freshman, 5'8", 160. As we said, both guys out of Clifton, where I lived for the first 2 years of my life, back in the late 1970s. That's hit in the air. Center field. That one is going to go all the way to the fence. Guthrie scores. His brother goes to third. First career hit, I believe, for Mike McLaughlin. And the Gothic Knights see the freshman contribute here. It's 13-1. So a double to straightaway center, an RBI. His brother Dan goes to third. Ryan Guthrie scores. And here is John Miano, who talked a little smack, did not believe that I actually I don't know, played a sport in my life. However, I'm still going to root for John Miano to get a base hit here.
13-1.
Miano with a chance to drive in 2. That's off the plate. I got to put in a pinch hitter here. Miano does the official book for our basketball games when he shows up on time. 1 ball, no strikes. That's low. 2-0. Good eye by Miano. Miano is a freshman, left-handed hitter, 6 foot 190 out of Ridgefield, New Jersey, Ridgefield High School. He was working the music, but now he's getting a chance to swing the bat, and got Sean Gibney on the music right now, which means business is about to pick up. And that's 3-0. Three balls, no strikes, 13-1 NJCU. That is a called strike on the outside corner, 3-1. The day Sean Gibney graduates, it'll be a very sad moment here at NJCU. The 3-1 swung on and missed, and the count is full. Miano clearly trying to drive that pitch. So Guthrie started the inning with 1 out. He got his first career hit. Mike McLaughlin got his first career hit. Dan McLaughlin is at third base. He got his first career walk. It's a 3-2 pitch. Ground ball, gloved by Morales, looks back to runners, throws to first. Miano wasn't running too hard out of the box, and that's because it was an easy play there for Morales on the one hopper.
The designated hitter, number 24, Lennon Gomez.
So on the 1-3 ground out, that'll bring up now the designated hitter, Lennon Gomez. Gomez hitting .311 on the season. He has got 2 hits today, 2 runs scored, including an RBI double. Gomez was the runner-up for NJAC Rookie of the Year a year ago. And he lines that one towards second base through the middle for a base hit. McLaughlin scores. Because of the nature of the score, Jerry Smith holds up Mike McLaughlin at third.
Now batting, right fielder.
NJCU only taking a base at a time unless, of course, it goes over the fence. So a single up the middle and an RBI. That's the second RBI today for Gomez. And it's 14-1. Ground ball over the short. And the flip on the force will end the inning as Pena grounds out. So Gomez is out 6-4, but the Gothic Knights get 2 more runs from its young guys. 2 runs on 3 hits. They strand 2. Last chance for Rutgers-Newark. They trail 14-1. It'll be Scanlon leading off for Rutgers-Newark here in the top of the ninth. And the first pitch to him is a fly ball. Ryan Guthrie is going to take charge. Foul territory, makes the catch, and Scanlon's retired. This is a season high for the most runs that Rutgers-Newark has given up, as the Gothic Knights have just played awesome since the third inning on and have gotten brilliant pitching here from Zucchero, who's going for the complete game. Two strikes here to the third baseman. The new third baseman is number 21, Kevin Tamsula. He's a sophomore out of South Hackensack, and that's off the plate. So Tamsula, the 1-2 count. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Line drive, base hit. Only the 4th hit allowed in this game. And it'll be the shortstop, Christian Diaz, due up.
Shortstop, number 20, Christian Diaz.
Actually, I stand corrected. Tamsula is from Piscataway. It is Diaz who's from South Hackensack, and he looks for his first hit of the season. That's high. Zucchero's previous longest career, that is into the cage here, and we're going to have to see the runner go back to first. But the longest previous appearance for Zucchero was last year at Old Westbury. Through 8 1/3 innings, gave up 5 runs in that game. He's been brilliant today. 5 runs on 12 hits that day. Been a lot better today. That was last Thursday, actually. So something about Zucchero pitching on Thursdays. Fouled off. It's 2-2. And it'll be 3 balls and 2 strikes. Fouled off to our right. Miano's going to give it a look, but it's out of play. This will be the 125th pitch from Zucchero. And that is ball 4. The Gothic Knights wanted to let Zucchero finish this game if they could.
Now batting, number 33, Nick Dispenza.
That'll be the catcher, Dispenza. He's actually hitting .429. Good numbers in the time he's been at the plate this year. Swung on and missed. The 0-1. That's off the plate. Zucchero looking to move over 500 in his career when he wins this one. It's 14-1. He'll improve to 5-4. It'll be his first career complete game and his second win of the season. He was 2-0 last year. He'll improve to 2-1 this year. One ball, 2 strikes. And that is foul down the left field line. Special thanks today, of course, to our entire crew. On a cold day here in Jersey City, Yuri Brutus on the camera and the graphics for us. And Nina Gina Carbonero on the PA and the scoreboard. Carla Mejia making sure people don't bleed too much. And if they do, she gives them a Band-Aid and tells them to rub some dirt on it. Rel Smith for paying the umpires and making sure that the gates are open and allowing us to get into the complex to play the game. I'm not sure what we're thanking Sean Gibney for, but hey, Sean. That's off the plate, 2-2. Sean Gibney on the music in relief of John Miano, who's now at first base. Sure, Sean's going to either pitch tomorrow or Saturday or Sunday, as the Gothic Knights will play 4 days in a row. And strike three, belt ties, Zucchero with the K. And 2 away here in the 9th. 7th strikeout for Anthony Zucchero. Knew you were going to ask that, Sean Gibney, and I had the answer. Same wavelength here. I read your mind, buddy. I knew what you were going to ask before he asked it. And it'll be Claire, the first baseman, last hope for the Rutgers-Newark Scarlet Raiders. And belt tie strike for Zucchero. That is a strike. Yes, it is, Nina Gina. No balls, 1 strike. Zucchero deals. Check swing, and that's going to fall in for a base hit. Being waved around, and Rutgers-Newark will add another run. And that ends what had been 7 shutout innings since Rutgers-Newark scored in the 2nd. So a bloop single, and Tamsula scores. And Bigiani, the center fielder, steps in. That's a foul tip here. We say hello to women's soccer center back, Natalie Becker, watching today's game. I hope everybody who's watched this game on Gothic Vision has enjoyed what is now a 14-2 lead for NJCU. Bigiani is down to his final strike. Offers it, that one's off the plate. 2-2. Anthony Zucchero on a cold day will throw at least 139 pitches. Slow roller. McLaughlin not in time. Did he get him? Did not get him. And what's the call here? He is safe, so a run will score. So that's an RBI single for Bigiani. The umpire, initially I thought he called him out. And Jerry Smith out there talking to Anthony Zucchero. Zucchero wants to finish this game, but he's not going to. After 139 pitches, cannot get the complete game. He will get the win. We're going to see Jason Rivera come in and try to get the final out.
So we're back here. Jason Rivera will try to close out what was really a great performance by Anthony Zucchero, but 139 pitches was plenty for one day, and he will win his second game of the year, but it'll be Rivera trying to close it out for NJCU. Klimowicz will step in, the DH, the only starter still in the game. He's 1 for 3 for Rutgers-Newark. And swung on and missed. I don't think he got a piece of it. I think Albunya just didn't see it and actually caught him in the mask. 1-1 on a game that is now 3 hours old. And that's line foul down the left field line. And once again, the Raiders are down to their last strike. One ball, 2 strikes. Rivera in relief. Swung on and missed, and the ball game is over. The Gothic Knights improved to 11-5 on the year on a day where Anthony Zucchero was masterful and Mike Ramirez drove in a career-high 5 RBIs, including a no-doubt-about-it 3-run homer that helped get it going. 4 runs in the 3rd inning, 3 in the 5th, 5 in the 6th, and the bench provided 2 more in the 8th as NJCU prevails by a score of 14-3. In the 9th inning for Rutgers-Newark, 2 runs on 3 hits, 2 left on base. Your final score in today's New Jersey Athletic Conference game, NJCU 14 runs, 16 hits, and no errors. Rutgers-Newark 3 runs, 6 hits, and 6 errors. With the win, NJCU improves to 11-5 on the year, 2-1 in the NJAC, and winners of 5 of their last 6 games. These 2 teams will meet again tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. at Bears and Eagles Riverfront Stadium in Newark for Game 2 of this NJAC home-and-home series. The next home game for the Gothic Knights will be on Saturday at 11:30 a.m. when they take on William Patterson in New Jersey Athletic Conference action. First pitch at 11:30 a.m. We thank you for your attendance at today's NJAC contest. And that'll do it here in Jersey City. Anthony Zucchero strikes out 7, throws 139 pitches. He is your winner. Mike Ramirez, 5 RBIs. The Gothic Knights, they win again. They are 11-5. On behalf of everyone at NJCU Athletics, I'm Ira Thor. Thanks for watching today's broadcast of NJCU Baseball on Gothic Vision. Until we talk to you on Saturday, for NJCU and William Patterson, be well, everybody.